everyone, Miss Mandell here to talk about putting together your sketchbook.
You need a few materials for this: a hole punch and a piece of string or a stapler, a pencil, a pair of scissors, some paper for a cover if you would like to have a cover, some sketchbook paper. I gave you 6 sheets, but if you would like to add more, you can add more. Now that we have supplies, let's get to the directions. First, we fold our papers in half. Make sure you crease it once you have them folded evenly. And then you get your cover paper. You measure to make sure your cover paper will go all the way around your sketchbook. Once you have cover paper that goes all the way around your sketchbook, you can measure it out if it is a little bit too big so that you can cut off the excess paper. If you don't have big enough cover paper to wrap around your sketchbook, skip ahead in the directions. Later on in this video, I have directions for cover paper where you have 1 sheet for the front and 1 sheet for the back. When you're ready to put your sketchbook together, you have 2 options. One of them is to staple. If you staple, open your book to the middle, put the stapler on an angle, and staple it at the top and the bottom. Your other option is to use a hole punch. If you use a hole punch, you do the same thing. Punch from the top and also punch from the bottom. Make sure that your holes are lined up evenly, and you'll see why in just a second. We're going to put some string through both holes. So we put it through the top, we put it through the bottom, and then we tie a knot. It's really important that you tie a tight enough knot so that your string does not get undone. If you find knot tying to be difficult, please watch my video on knot tying. When you're done tying your knot, cut the extra string off, and then your sketchbook is complete. Here you'll find my directions for making a cover if you don't have big enough cover paper to wrap all the way around. So we're making 2 pieces of cover paper, one for the front and one for the back. We're cutting it to the right size so that it fits exactly on top of or underneath our sketchbook. I'm using 2 different kinds of cover paper because that's what I have. You can use paper that you've painted, you can use paper you have lying around your house, you could even use magazine pieces. Totally up to you. Once you've cut out your 2 pieces of cover paper, you can place one on top of your sketchbook and one underneath. Make sure you cut them out carefully. Make sure you line them up carefully. So at this point, you have a choice again. You can either staple or you can use a hole punch. So if we staple, we can just go from the side. If we use a hole punch, we can't really go from the side because our pile of papers are too thick. So we need to very carefully open it up to the middle, punch our hole from the center point, make sure that all of our holes are lined up, right? If I'm making a hole punch from the front, it needs to line up with my hole punch from the back. And I do the exact same thing on the bottom. I punch half of my papers and then the other half of my papers. And then I'm ready to put my yarn all the way through. So I need to go very carefully. And I go through my holes. This is why I needed to line them up. So I go through all of my papers. And then I bring my yarn through the holes at the top. And then once I've done that, I'm ready to tie a knot. If you're having trouble with knot tying, please watch my other video on how to tie a knot. We go over and under and pull through, and then go over and under again. Once we finish tying our knot, then we cut off the extra yarn. Now you've finished making your sketchbook, and now it's ready for you to draw on it.